We got a real problem here because now you have with the reality television and stuff like that you're starting to see an interaction of personal life and real life and stuff like that. And some of the stuff as a television show is so outlandish that people are misconstruing it as fake and stuff like that. I'm not here to argue, or I'm not doing this to argue that. It is what it is. You have your right to your opinion. But now there's like boycotting of these shows when I think the whole energy of it is actually some form of social connection. Like it's really out there. And it's on the lines of lynch mobbing. And they're not really watching the shows. Like I'm not watching the show prior. I'm watching it when everybody else is watching it. Because that's when you get hit with whatever they're watching. You know what I mean? Like you get the reactions and everything. So if you're watching it prior and you know the outcome of it, you're not getting the reactions of it. And that's just by choice. So I knew about the hip hop Atlanta. I knew they had to go through the channels to get it clear anyhow. I knew about the company when they hired and everything. I stayed in connection. But when they went to filming, it was on them. You see what I'm saying? It was supposed to go a different direction, but due to a lot of scheduling, it didn't. So they had to do the best that they could at the time. And that direction would have been totally wrong because this one is way better. You're dealing with a hit making producer and you're seeing a slice of his real life and how complicated it is and complex. Besides the other artists and stuff like that. But it's basically focused around his platinum making, hit making producer. What you don't see or what is construing the reality of it to normal people is that a lot of people want to become a producer like this. You have, the kids say, I want to become a producer, and a lot of them do become producers and stuff like that. Technology is very advanced now. But what they don't teach you or tell you is how your lifestyle may be complicated, amongst other things, business and management and marketing. Instead of marketing these artists, they're actually watching them from a fishbowl. So you're actually getting a real deal of life that is not scripted at all. It may be a little awkward because these artists are not used to being followed around by cameras and stuff like that. So they are needing some form of direction because in real life, their conversations will be on the cell phone and email, where you have to do the opposite of that. You have to really come together, talk to the people, have this conversation, in their faces. And these are business people, regardless of what you think of them. So if anything would come of anything, it would be either in real life, an email, or a voice message or stuff like that. So you might see an awkwardness. That's not the problem. The problem is that people are lynch mobbing shows like this because this is the social gathering. This is how you make a connection. It's just like watching the show or being a fan of the show. You could talk on websites about what happened on the show. Now you could go to a website and petition the show. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is what the answer is, which lies in the other shows that I'm seeing that they're showing the real deal, Holyfield, for a lot of people who sit there and say, well, I'm going to become a producer or an artist, a recording artist, music artist. People in the industry, I'm finding answers to stuff that goes on, that they're recording, that they probably don't even have a clue, but it's in the scenario of the show because everything is edited down. It's an hour or an hour and a half. Instead of lynch mobbing, watch the show carefully, just like I said prior for the other shows, but it's a totally different production. Watch the show prior, then make a decision. I watched it, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was shocked, just like a lot of people. I had no clue what was going to come out of all these players in this show mouths. That's exactly what needed to happen. There's a problem, or always going to be a problem, when living your life like that. It's not 100% concrete. Now you have a show that is showing 100% backing everything, why you should go to school, why you should do this, why you should do that. Because now you have a show answering, this is what happens when you go through this, this, and that. I'm not dissing the show, I'm not dissing the people that's in it. Life is not perfect. You have a show following a hit producer. The first episode, it was like a volcano eruption. You couldn't believe it. It's so surreal. You want to know why? Because you're not a hit platinum making producer. Or you're not that person if you are one. I mean, even I was totally shocked. The show was like beyond my expectations because it kept it real. It was a little awkward. It's not a spin-off, but it's different than the prior brand of Love and Hip Hop. Love and Hip Hop ATL is just connecting the scene that is actually down here in full force, but you're seeing a different side. Even I haven't even seen that side, so it's very crisp, and these situations are very professional and stuff like that, but you see the personal side comes in. Boycotting shows like this, which this is your opinion or your form of expression. But if you really look at the show, it is not exploiting anything but the truth of why you should go to school, learn how to read, learn your math, graduate, continue to go to school and stuff like that. I'm not calling these people uneducated and stuff like that. Life is not perfect. There's other reality shows that are showing artists, and there's this chaos, and it's very professional, but you clash. So why would you boycott a show that basically support everything in your stance? It's kind of ridiculous. So take that show off the air because it's answering what I believe in. Well, unfortunately, it's not because they're filming a second season, and I find that strange that there's a boycott going on when it's only the first episode and it's a real face slapper episode, but it's not really meeting everybody's expectations except for mine. And that's not a problem because of the TV show, it's the problem because of personal interest in other reasons. They need this to socialize in the story. So you need the show to still continue until you're done socializing. Answer right there in your